everybody, just want to give you all an update about some of the changes that are taking place with the AP exam. I've had some questions from people. I know a lot of you have already talked to some of your other AP teachers, so probably some cases where you've known more about this for longer than I have. But anyway, for those of you that I haven't talked to, I want to make sure you've got an update coming from me. Honestly, I didn't follow this very closely at the start because, we didn't know. Were we going to be out of school for 2 weeks? Were we going to be out of school for a month? Was this going to go into May? There was just a lot that we didn't know. And I think now it's pretty obvious we're going to be out of school for the long shot. In general, probably not going to be back before we take the AP exam, or if we are, maybe only for a couple of days. So anyway, late last week I started looking at some of the things that the AP people have announced, and by the way, they haven't laid everything out yet. So I know a lot of you have already seen this, but just to give you a little bit more background, it sounds like they are going to cut back the topics on the AP exam some. And anyway, that doesn't really pose us a challenge because we've talked about all the topics already. Obviously, some in more depth than others, but we have at least touched on everything. But there's several topics, for example, areas and volumes of solids. A couple of those application types of topics won't be on the AP exam now. So that'll kind of focus things in a little bit. But again, we're in good shape as far as that goes, even if they hadn't cut things back. But it does help us narrow down what we're going to focus on a little bit. It sounds like they're going to be creating an option to allow people to take the AP exam from home. It sounds like they're creating a cut down version of the AP exam. At the moment, what they're saying is that it's going to be all free response, and they're saying it's going to be 45 minutes done online. Okay. In the past, you have 45 minutes to do 3 free response questions. So, on the surface, that sounds like it would be 3 free response questions. I don't know if they're going to break it up differently than they have in the past or not. Obviously, that's still stuff that they need to tell us. They have not set those dates yet. They've said that they're going to do an early date, which would be like, if somebody took a semester course that ended in January and, they've been forgetting it since then, go ahead and take it now and get it out of the way. For us, we've done very little AP prep, which is fine. We're very far ahead of the schedule we were on last year. We'll be in great shape as far as time goes. But anyway, for most people, there will be, the kind of standard date. I would assume it'll be close to the actual date. I think our exam was supposed to be on May 5th. I'm guessing it will be probably sometime around then, but they have not announced that yet. I think they're going to announce that, I think maybe April 3rd, sometime early in April, they're going to put that out. So anyway, just want to update people on that. I'm very excited about the fact that it's only free response because, as you guys probably know, our scores on the AP exam are almost always well above the national average. What you might not know is our multiple choice scores usually have been a little bit above the national average, and our free response scores have always been drastically above the national average. And that's because we put an enormous amount of effort in free response in the month of April. So I know a lot of classes do a lot of free response work during the year. One of my complaints about that is the free response work you do in September, you might forget. And so one of the things that we've been able to do in the calculus class is finish everything before April, and then we can hammer free response questions going into the month of April. And that has always just made our scores explode. So that's what we're going to be doing with this. I think it'll work out very well. Obviously, there are still some changes that may take place, getting everybody information about how to actually take the test online and that sort of thing. There's still a lot more to come. But the good news for you all is your exam is probably going to be shorter unless they change something about it. And also the number of topics will be less. And again, like I said before, my challenge to everybody when school was called off originally was all of these cutbacks in society give you more time to focus on getting ready for your AP exams. Cutting down the number of topics gives you a better opportunity to focus on what's going to be the AP exam. I'm still making the same challenge to everybody, and that is, unless you were going to make a 5 anyway, everybody should be able to make a point higher on this AP exam than you would have made otherwise. You've got more time to prep, you've got fewer topics to prep for. That's something you definitely want to take advantage of. So this week we're going to be focusing on trying to take advantage of that as well as we can, and I'm going to address some of that in a different video, but I did just want to check in with you guys about that. Oh, one other thing. They are putting, the AP Central people are putting out videos. They're having actual AP teachers do different AP topics. Currently they're doing differential equations. I think they're assuming that a lot of classes were finishing that at the time the school was canceled, so they're going through that. I think it's it's really designed for people that don't have online access to their teachers. I'm going to link all of those. Sometimes I think the videos are really good. Sometimes maybe it's stuff that we've done really well, or sometimes maybe they kind of go off on topics that I don't think are very important. I'll try to look at each video and give you kind of my sense as to whether or not it's important or not. I will link those so you've got that information. And again, I don't think they have any kind of insider information, but you know, seeing something from a different perspective, if you were absent when we did a topic like slope fields, it's a good opportunity to see their take. They are doing it in Zoom conversations, and so as a result, it's 40 minutes, but I think it's content that really could probably be boiled down into about 20. So I think if you kind of skip through it and say, okay, here's an example, let's see what their solution is. Do I know how to do it already? Do I not know how to do it already? I think in a lot of cases you can take about 15 minutes and go through the 40-minute video and get everything that's worth getting out of it. So that's another thing that you might want to think about. So I'll give you more guidance on that down the road, but I did just want to mention that that is a resource that's out there as well. So good luck getting ready for the AP exam this week. I'll be in touch with everybody. If you need a video conference or anything like that, I'm going to try to be really available. Best of luck to all of you as we continue getting ready for the AP exam.